Okay, we should be live now. Let me double check.
Means they're good.
I was so proud of YouTube for doing that great thing for my son.
Yeah, that's good. Like I said, I would keep searching for it though
So,
intermittently because I can see other people trying to steal it, or those same people trying to put it up, under a different account or whatever. So,
well, the good news is
but
it's theft worthy. That's the good
yeah,
news.
no, he did a really good job on it. Did he do that all by himself, or did
I did
you?
the editing, which was
You did
really
the
the hard
editing.
part, because I
Yeah,
had to match up the sound with
right.
the action.
Where did all of the sounds come from?
Hey,
Is
Mercy,
that
can you
from me
help us
actually?
with this? Can you hear both Chet and I?
Test, 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 test.
Hey guys, John, I don't even know his last name. John is coming on, Atheist, hardcore. The strongest Christian you'll ever meet is coming on in 6 minutes. How's that for an intro?
Well, and for people that may have seen your other video, right? They would know.
Yeah. Oh, Mercy, can you tell me if you can hear Chet when I mute myself? I just want to double check. Hi, Logan.
Yeah, test, 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 testes, testes.
Could you hear what Chet said, Logan or Mercy?
Now, for some reason, up above me, are you seeing this add to favorites thing? That was a box that popped up, but I removed from my screen, but I still see it in
Oh,
my little window on yours.
there, I'll get rid of that.
Oh, was that from your screen?
Okay, so it looks like we're all good in the chat department. So Christian, Calvinist, pre-sup, closed, stubborn. No, sorry. Let me
What are
delete
these
that.
tags that you're putting?
Yeah. Christian, Calvinist, pre-sup, John is coming in 5 minutes.
Yeah, the one we had the chat conversation with previously, right?
Yes. Now, as an atheist, I'm here early, so we'll see if the Christian actually shows up at all. Sorry, that was uncalled for, right? So,
Well,
I have a new thought experiment. You ready for it?
okay, sure.
Okay, so I'll do it on you, Chet, first. And you, the people in chat can play at home. Here's the thought experiment.
Okay.
You see those 4 animals, or a rock and 3 animals?
I was going to say, I see 3, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so here's the thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pick up a baseball bat and as hard as you can hit all 4 of these things. Tell me which would be the easiest for you to hit to the hardest it would be for you to hit.
Well, the easiest would be the rock. I just have to hit it. I don't have to kill it. I just have to make
No,
contact
your
with
goal
it.
is to swing so hard to kill, yeah.
That I kill it with a
But-
baseball bat.
Yeah, but if you don't kill it, that's fine too. But your goal is to just swing as hard as you can. So you would hit the rock first. That'd be the easiest. What would be the next easiest for you to swing and hit and kill, possibly?
Probably the snake.
Really interesting. Okay.
Well, I mean, if it's that kind of snake, that snake looks venomous. So it would probably be in an attack posture if I was that close, which means it's not moving that fast or trying to get away. I can probably reach out and kill it the same way. Have you ever chopped the head off a snake with a shovel?
Yeah.
So same idea is what I'm thinking. This mosquito would probably be next, so that would be very difficult, and I would damage a lot of property in the process.
Sorry. I got see. This is good that we're testing this out on you because I'm going to refine the thought experiment. You're going to swing as hard as you can. And you're not going to miss.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, okay.
The point of the
Because
thought
I was
experiment.
okay. Because I'm like the dolphins definitely last. You ever try to swing a baseball bat underwater?
No,
You're screwed. You're never gonna get it.
pretend all 4 are paralyzed.
Okay.
Like the rock, of course, can't move, right?
Okay, so they're just like in front of me,
You're there in front of you, paralyzed.
paralyzed.
And so the question is, what it would be more difficult for you internally to swing as you have to all four, but which would be
Oh,
the easiest? Which would be the hardest? Go in order. Which would be the easiest? The rock?
oh, you mean just like emotionally
Yes,
for
emotionally.
me? Oh,
I,
I would kill the mosquito first. Fuck mosquitoes. I'm sorry. There's nice people listening. I hate mosquitoes, so I would kill that one first. Just one less mosquito is a better world for me. Is this screwing up your thought experiment?
you totally are.
Okay.
Go ahead, but
Who
finish quickly
are
now.
you talking to?
Quickly.
So mosquito. God, I hate snakes too. I don't care about the rock, so it can just stay there and live.
No,
So, so mosquito, snake. Then
no.
why does the rock even matter? Yeah, so and then I guess
you're missing the whole thought experiment.
do I
Okay.
have to? Am I?
Yeah.
I didn't know there were rules. I thought this was a thought experiment.
it's
which
my
meant you
fault.
Experimented.
It's not
and
you,
did-
Chet.
Okay.
It's me.
Oh, it sounded like you were accusing me.
Well, I'm just taking my frustration on you because it's easier.
Okay. Okay. I know. Yeah.
Let me
all right.
try to
I
let me
really
try
don't
to
know
rephrase
the
it.
way you're hoping that it works.
Let me try to rephrase it.
All right. Let's refine.
You pick up a baseball bat and you swing it at all four things which are paralyzed, they can't move.
Mm-hmm.
Which would you feel the least guilty about hitting versus the most guilty about hitting?
Mm-hmm.
Try that. Maybe that helps. Least guilt to most guilt.
Yeah, the mosquito is still first. I don't care about mosquitoes. I really don't. I would feel. I would actually get pleasure from killing the mosquito. I don't care about the rock. I know you want me to go rock first, but that's not the truth. That's not my truth. So it would still be the mosquito, and then it would be the rock after that, and then the snake, and then of course the dolphin, because we're going by levels of intelligence here is kind of what I'm thinking, and how we relate to things that are more intelligent.
Okay, no, this is good because what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to change it from a mosquito to maybe a mouse or a hamster.
Now that would change things for me.
Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of the mosquito and make it a hamster. Should I keep the snake? No, I'm going to change the snake to a kitten. No. A parrot, a talking parrot. And then I'm going to change. Well, no. Okay, but this is the point of the thought experiment that everybody's wondering, what the heck am I talking about here? Okay, the point of this thought experiment is, you know how theists often say you don't have a basis of morality?
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So most people, I think, would go towards the rock would be the easiest to hit, and then they would go based on either pain or intelligence or a combination of the two, suffering.
Yeah, sure.
Now, everybody would have an order, and that order you will not find in any holy book. There's not going to be any guidelines in a holy book to say, oh, you should swing at this one first or this one.
Mm-hmm.
So the point of the thought experiment is to say that there is maybe an objective basis for morality based on this thought experiment. You can sort of almost feel it emotively, internally, that there is a kind of a hierarchy structure of how we treat things based on things like suffering, intelligence, and so forth. Get where I'm driving at?
Yeah. That's kind of that's kind of what I thought you were going with. Now there is something like Jainism that would tell you not to swing at any of them ever. So you do have.
Well, no, in this thought experiment, you have to swing to kill.
Right. Well, you said there weren't any religious books that would prescribe any order. In a sense, that one would prescribe not doing them,
but they have to
ever. Almost. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying what you said and saying that's not entirely true.
So so basically, if you can internally have this order in your head of what you would kill first or try to kill,
yeah,
and they're all things that the Bible says be good stewards of nature and that sort of thing. But still, if you had to kill, most Christians could care, would kill a mosquito. Oh, John's here.
Yeah.
Shh, let's be quiet.
So, so yeah, there's yeah, you have to take a lot of oops,
Whoa.
looks like he dropped. Hopefully he can come back. There's a lot of things, yeah, you'd have to make it where you don't have to consider, like, because if you hit the rock, that's probably going to hurt you. There's things like that. You have to figure who's going to clean up the mess when it's over. Because if I'm telling, I've beat a lot of dolphins with bats, and that is messy. Like, you want to make sure you have other people.
So yeah, I asked the right person to test this thought experiment out, because you're coming up with so many scenarios. Okay, they're paralyzed, they can't move, and there's no mess afterwards.
And I can't hurt myself in any way.
You can't hurt yourself. So if in your mind you would swing at a snake before a dolphin, you have to ask yourself why.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you swing at a snake before a dolphin? How would you answer that?
Well, a few things. Threat level, to me personally, would be a consideration. So, like, that snake you had particularly was a venomous kind of thing, and so anytime I can eliminate a predator or something that might end my life, I would take that out first.
Yeah, but
before
he can't hurt you though in this thought
I
experiment.
know, but it's paralyzed. I know, but I'm saying, even though I know it's paralyzed and it's there, I'll still have that in my head because I know there's other snakes that weren't. So I have this bias towards removing snakes from my presence based on my previous experiences. So if I went in with, I don't know what it would be. It's hard to say because, like, do I walk in there with no previous experience with any of these things? Because I'm going to have biases. Because maybe somebody walks in that their fiance got drowned by a dolphin during one of those dolphin swimming things. So they just massively hate dolphins. They have that bias going in. They're like, I'm going to kill that dolphin. But even then, now they have their morality based on their personal experiences, not from Holy Book. But I'm saying it can be, somebody could potentially be that way. They could have a hatred for dolphins and be like, and love snakes. Am I blowing your whole thing up? I'm sorry. I don't want you to regret this conversation.
You could be right, but I don't know how many people would kill a dolphin before a snake. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just saying that, we live in a world of probabilities, so we have to try to consider all of them.
Like a dolphin is probably what, next to the bonobo, chimpanzee.
Dolphins are rapists, though. Dolphins are rapists of the sea.
You speaking from experience?
No, not yet. This is what I've heard. I haven't, but they do. Like, it's a very known thing. Like, it's like people think they're sweet and innocent and all that stuff, but they have, murderous and rapist tendencies as well.
Okay, I got to find John here.
Now, I don't know that a snake does.
John, where are you? I think he popped in.
Yeah, somebody tried to come in. And maybe somebody is a huge fan of Douglas Adams and they think the dolphins are just here for the fish and then they're going to leave before the world gets blown up. And so they have vengeance. Have you ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
You know I don't read books. Come on.
Listen to it. That's one of the greatest books in the history of literature.
No, the Bible is, Chet. Come on.
No. I didn't say it was the only. I said it's one of the greatest. So you could have. But Hitchhiker's Guide, you really don't know anything about The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I've heard of it.
Oh, you should check it out. Even if you listen to books, don't you?
Yeah, I listen to books.
The opening line is one of the best lines in the history of literature.
What is the opening line?
I can find it. I can't remember, but it's basically, I'll have to paraphrase, but it's basically, in the beginning, the universe was created and a lot of people thought this was a really bad idea and were very unhappy about it. Like he phrases it, because Douglas Adams was an artist, but So you don't know about the improbability drive. You don't know what the
Hey,
answer.
Tana, we're waiting for John, Atheist. We're going to. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you at will.
No,
Chet.
yeah, no. It's your show, buddy.
But when you see me not talking, Chet, you feel free to talk.
Okay,
But
thanks.
as soon as I open my mouth, you shut up, okay?
Well, I want everybody to know that he conned me into this. I didn't know this was going to happen. He asked me to help him do a sound check on a microphone, and now I'm here.
Yeah, but you did your job, and you're doing more. You're going way above and beyond what I asked you to do. So Tana, and everybody else, we're waiting for John. He's a Christian who promised me he would show up, or said he would show up at 6 o'clock, 6:08. So either the rapture happened, or and everybody here didn't make the cut.
Yeah. So hopefully, like somebody came in right then. Maybe he had an issue with the Wi-Fi or had to go around because you said he was going somewhere public to try to use it. So hopefully,
I have another. Oh, hang on. I got an email from him. Let's see what it says. I'm in, but I don't see you.
I don't know.
John, if you can hear me, refresh. You know what that refresh that means? That the little. Hopefully, he knows. I'm not saying throw water on your face. Don't do that. Just
don't watch the movie Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy before listening to the book, but definitely listen to the book, and then you can see the movie. You'll probably be disappointed, but it was still it's an entertaining movie. But the book is so much better.
Oh, is it T. Anna here, or is it Tana? Is it T. Anna Thurman, or is it Anna T. Thurman, or T. Oh, Tiana? Sorry. There's someone in the chat named Tana, and I just...
I get it. I get the joke. I'm into it. How many people are here looking at us just wait for John?
Just 6.
Oh, okay.
My 6 loyal fans.
Try to disappoint as few people as possible.
Oh, it's Tana. Tana, Chet. You got it wrong. It's Tana.
I didn't. Did I even say the name?
Sure.
Okay.
So I stumbled upon a jackpot today. I think I have a new challenge for Christians and Muslims because I think it applies. Actually, Muslims are not as bad as Christians when it comes to bloviating. To me, there's only one sin, and it's called bloviation. When someone talks and talks and talks. So
that isn't Doug.
Well, it's different when you're hosting a show. You can't just like.
Okay.
So here's my challenge. My challenge is for a Christian to come on and ask me questions, but cannot make comments. Just question after question after question.
But for how long? Like, or can you say like, can you start low? Like, say, ask me 5 questions or 10 questions without comment. Like, can you set a goal for them? Because otherwise,
time goal. It'd be a time goal, like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
If they make a statement, and they can't say like blah 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 blah. Do you agree with that? Like that doesn't count as a question. They have to ask a question, and if they make a statement, they get a strike. If they make 2, strike 3, you're out. And,
question related to what? Anything they want, or
they ask a question of me, I answer it. Then they have to ask another question based on my answer. I wonder. I have a feeling, I have a sense that very few people could do it.
But I guess what I'm saying is a question about anything about you. Like, are you just or do you want it related to your
in the context of God, truth, morality, religion, that sort of thing?
Okay.
The thing that my YouTube channel is all about.
Right. That's what I thought, but I just want to clarify.
Tana, are you a theist? Tana's in. She says she can do it.
Awesome.
Because John is a no-show again.
Yeah, I guess he's having some troubles. He's not a no-show. He did email you and say he was having some troubles.
Here.
Here's somebody.
Let's see if it works. I don't think God wants him to talk to me. Okay, says, oh, there we go. Say something, John.
Does it work?
Yes, can you hear and see us? We can see you. And we can hear you.
You can. I can't hear him, but I'm gonna get out of here anyway.
No, don't go anywhere because I don't think this is working.
Yeah, no, I meant once he comes in, I will get out of the way.
Can you?
Yes, you can see the chat.
I can't see him now.
Oh, you can't. I still see his. It just froze for me.
You want to come in, Tana? Ask me anything.
Oh, now it's a little better. Can you? He's moving again.
Can you
I
hear
heard
me?
him say something.
Can you hear me, John?
Not
Okay.
barely. I wonder if the internet's not good enough here.
Yeah, it's breaking up really bad.
I can kind of understand you, but
No, this is not going to work. God does not want you to talk to me.
do I?
God does not want you to talk to me.
Okay.
God is scared that
Yeah,
I
I'm not
might
gonna give
lead
up
you
on
away
this.
from the faith.
He's not going to give up.
Well, we're going to have to do it a different time because this
Okay.
won't work.
He's trying to find another place.
Find another place.
I can barely understand you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Leave.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. This is not going
I'm
to
so
work.
sorry.
Yeah. Try audio only.
Well.
We could try that. Do you know how to press the audio only button? If you hover over your screen, I don't know what, you're probably on a mobile device.
I can barely. I really can't hear you. You hear me at all?
Yeah, I hear you.
That's locked.
I hear you. Audio only. Try your audio only. Please.
Maybe send me an email.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. I'll send you an email.
I'm gonna try video quick.
Such a
Maybe that'll speed it up.
Yeah,
audio
hang
only.
on. Yeah, let's try it. Say something. Say Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. No.
Dang it. All right.
Doug, I'm unable to hear anything.
Okay, so
Right.
yeah, we'll try it another
I
time.
hear like little fragments of what you're saying. I can't make it out.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Can you kick him or?
Yeah, I'm
what,
gonna kick you, John. No offense.
It just was 10 times of saying I can barely hear you. I really want you to talk to him too. I'm really looking forward to it because he
Tana, do you want
seems
to come
like
in?
seems like a really interesting guy. I enjoyed the last time when we talked.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get Tana. I don't want this to be like a wasted evening because just talking to you would be wasted. So
Absolutely. Hard to argue with that.
because we talk enough.
What? Why the sigh? What's happened? Something in the YouTube.
I don't
channel?
understand it. I used to get people who wanted to come and talk with me. I start a YouTube channel and it stops. Like nobody wants to talk with me anymore. Well, John does want to, but
I was going to say, John wants to talk to you pretty bad. He keeps trying different stuff. So it's not necessarily true. You're getting less, but maybe people are like Larry on YouTube and think that you're an unreasonable person.
oh, who's this?
I don't know.
Is this going to be John again?
I don't know. It's someone on
Okay.
it is.
Can I hear you?
Keep talking. How old were you when you became a Christian?
No, you're frozen.
Ah,
Well, this is Alphabet. This is not. Yeah, John, you gotta pay your cable bill, and you have to get good internet.
I'm sorry. I have technological problems, if you can hear me.
Yeah.
So,
That's okay. We'll try again another time. You got to get a good internet connection. Okay. Take care.
yeah, I need a better connection if that's what you said.
Yeah.
I'll find a way. We'll have our conversation.
Okay. You made me very sad, but I'll get over it. Have a good night. Was that rude? I just don't
No,
like. I just don't like hearing
No.
that.
yeah, I know it was roboting, and you get like every third bit. No, it's fine. I mean, what if I was like, yeah, that's rude. What would you do?
I'd say you're wrong.
That's kind of what I thought.
I just want. This is for Christians out there. What I'm demonstrating is confirmation bias. So I'm just looking for Chet to confirm what I already believe. So, Tiana, all you have to do, I will give you a link. You press the link, and you're here. If you're on a laptop or computer or smartphone, you will appear, and you don't have to show your face. You can just be audio only if you want. And I will ask you questions if you want. If you don't want me to ask you questions, you can ask me questions. And if you don't want to do that, we can just have awkward silence.
And it will all be very nice and friendly and fun.
I am much nicer on camera than I am in YouTube comment sections. And even in YouTube comment sections, I tell you, there's a lot of atheists in my YouTube comment sections that make me look really good. I mean, as far as rudeness goes.
Yeah. Well, I think in general, people are a little more apt to be rude in a comment section than. I mean, we saw it on Blab all the time. I mean, I do it too. I tend to feel a bit more able to do that than when you're face to face with someone.
Tana, are you a Christian? And if so, what type of Christian are you? Calvinist, Arminian, Presbyterian, non-denominational? Eric has a question about Adam and original sin, if you need questions. Okay, go ahead, Eric. I specialize in Adam and I specialize in original sin. Actually, Chet, that's your department. You're pretty good at
Why?
You're pretty good at sinning originally. Alex is saying for you to shut up. What was his motive if not desiring to rebel against God? Okay, so Eric is asking, what was Adam, from Adam and Eve's story, what was his motive? For if not desiring, I take it, what it was his motive for eating the apple or the fruit? Well, probably because his gorgeous woman kind of winked at him and said, here, partake of the fruit. All the sin in the world is because of that woman. You know that, Eric.
Is that Eric, or is this a different Eric? Detroit Eric?
No, different Eric. I think, Eric, you're a Christian as well, right? Tana's my close friend, Doug. She is a theist. Oh, there's two of her? Does she have a split personality? So what two theists or more theists are you, Tana? And Eric, what type of Christian are you? Are you a serious one or just a cultural one? I don't think I've ever asked that question before.
No, I don't think you have.
This is what you call trying to reel them in.
Somebody.
And Eric and Tana, you can ask me anything you want, or Chet.
So, Doug, instead of trying to get people to come on, have you tried to actively go onto other people's shows? Maybe find Christians that have a podcast or YouTube channel and said, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you," kind of a thing?
I'm not the type of guy that forces myself onto others.
I didn't say force. I said ask. Right? There's a difference. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if you really want to talk to more theists, you might have to go to them.
Maybe I should ask James White if I can come on his show.
And then perhaps if you go to them, then you can also use that. You say, I'll come on as long as I can use the video recording on my channel as well.
Oh, Amin's here, and he says a nice pleasantry. And Michael Fox. Oh, I loved your show, Michael Fox. Are you guys religious? No, we are not. We're both agnostic atheists. Michael Fox, do you know what an agnostic atheist is? For 1,000 Pine Points. I do a Periscope called I'm Scared of Muslims. Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, no, Alex, my guest did not bail. He just decided to use a smartphone in a coffee shop, and it didn't work. Connection was too bad. I've missed you guys so much. I hope you're doing well. Thanks, Amin. Missed you too, buddy. Who'd you miss more, Chet or me? I still would love to have a theist as a guest. There has to be someone who frequents the comment section of my YouTube channel here, at least one. Mikey, I remember you in the comment section, I think. Tana frozen left, Doug. She's back now, I think. So, Jonathan Kiss, what do I have to say to Tana to get her on here? What do I have to do to get her in a brand new car today?
I remember, yeah, Jonathan.
You can't see the comments, can you?
No, I thought we were just doing a mic check, so I'm just on my little Chromebook. So I can't, if I try to open any other windows, it'll just be bad.
Here, I can do this. But you probably can't read that, can you?
I can, kind of. It's pretty small, but yeah, I'm not on my big fancy computer.
So I'm a Muslim and God is real. Prove me wrong. Michael Fox is a Muslim? Are you really a Muslim, Michael Fox, or you just pulling me? I don't prove anybody wrong or right. In fact, I really dislike the word prove. I know some people just use the word prove to mean evidence, but when I hear the word prove, I think of like 100% certainty. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah.
And I spit in the face of certainty. So very rarely will you hear the word prove come out of my lips, except just now. Yeah, Logan, he didn't bail. It's just that he didn't pay his cable bill, and the Lord did not provide.
Stop it, Doug. Why? He wants to come on. He's doing the best he can to come on in his situation.
Yes, I know. He tried, but...
Stop bagging on the one guy that wants to come on and actually talk to you.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Michael Fox. I think I can defend the Christian faith better than... I'm going to realistically give a percentage based on all the interviews I've had in my life. I'm going to say I can defend the Christian faith better than 85% of Christians. And I'm being conservative. Here's, for any Christians, Tana, I see you're still here. Who was the other Christian here? But question for you, Tana, and any other Christian, would you ever role play as an atheist, let's say you came on here and we switched. You become an atheist for, let's say, 15 minutes, and I become a Christian for 15 minutes. Would you do that? So we ask each other questions, but we take on the opposing person's worldview. Would you do that? Oh, Tana said sure.
Oh no! What she says she's back. Let's get her on here. So
Oh, okay, Tana, this is great. So I will be the Christian. You can be agnostic atheist, and I will ask you questions, and you ask me questions back. But hey, I got it. This is brilliant. I got a great idea. Tana, how about this? You come on here, and if you feel more comfortable, I can set it up that it's exactly what you are doing now. You're just typing in chat. I can do that, but it'll be real time. Right now, there's about a 10-second delay. So you can come on. You don't have to show your face. You don't even have to talk. But your typing will be real time. Or I would prefer you, at least we have the audio on so we can hear you. And you pretend to be an atheist. I'll pretend to be a Christian. And I, as a Christian, will try to sell Christianity to you or explain to you why I'm a Christian. And you try to instill doubt in me as an atheist.
And I'll pretend to be a ghost by not being here at all anymore.
So, Tana, you want to try it? I'm going to put the link in. I have booting powers, so if anybody but Tanya comes in here, I'll just boot you. Oops, how come that didn't work? Oh, message. Okay, you see I see it. Do you see the link there? Tana? Message not sent. Remove any web addresses and try again. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to type in HTTPS. Can you mute yourself, Chet?
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh wait, there it is. Yep.
Reed, are you making fun of my Canadian accent? Tana, what is it with the internet connections here? Can you can you plug in? Like if you're on Wi-Fi right now, can you get on a laptop or a desktop, plug in? Or is it Wi-Fi only for you? She said yes, Chet.
I know, Doug. When I mute, I can still hear, and I can see the little chat. So,
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Well, sometimes you zone out, so I'm just letting you know.
Oh, do I?
No, actually, you don't zone.
You mean during those long times when you're just talking the whole time? Is that what you see it as zoning out? I'm seeing is giving you the space that you need.
We can try it, Tana, without a computer. Did you see that link I sent? Did you see the link I sent? Did it come through at all? It's going to be this, appear.in/secret.turn. Oh, someone's here.
Somebody.
Is this John or is this Tana?
I have no idea.
Must be John because it's not working.
Well, I don't know. Tana's saying that something's frozen. Doug, if you I don't know why it's blocking. Yeah, I was going to say if you just put spaces in it or something, it'll show up, but you got it.
Yeah,
They're just blocking that URL for whatever reason.
Yeah, so put I'm running appear.in, and I'm using XSplit as my encoder to then push it into YouTube Live. And I do this instead of Google Hangouts because I absolutely hate Google Hangouts with that people popping up and popping down whenever they blow their nose. Here you at least have fixed video.
Yeah.
So Tana, try again. You're going to type in, and Reed says there's an Appear In app. But hopefully, well, yeah, she's probably on a phone. I don't see a link. I just freeze. Can you get to a laptop? Or desktop? Or Carrier Raven? That's a what's the name of that HBO show where they have carrier ravens? Oh, it's the tip of my tongue. Tana, shut down YouTube app and come back in. It was freezing for me until I restarted. Oh yeah, right. So hey, yeah, Tana, before you do that, write down appear.in/secret dash, not underscore, but dash, turn, TERN. Keep YouTube closed. Yeah, Game of Thrones read. Keep YouTube closed and just type that into your browser. And if you don't have that app, just type it into your browser on your smartphone and you'll hop in here. I think you might have to put https:// but maybe not. I doubt it.
Shouldn't need to.
No, all you have to do is appear.in/secret turn, TERN. Every time I type it, John, it blocks it. appear.in/secret.turn.
We just put a space in it somewhere, Doug, where there isn't one. Yeah, and it'll. But as long as they take the spaces out, then.
What is the delay? Okay, I'm going to put the scissors up and see how long it takes. 1,000. It's more than 10 seconds. Yeah, Jim. Jim, are you a believer? I seem to remember Jim J in my comments, but maybe not. Are you a believer in God? Yeah, it's at least, it's like 25-second delay.
Really?
Yeah. So if Tana can get in here and at least chat with us live, it would work perfect. I mean, much better. Let me know if you're a believer and have any questions. Feel free to ask anything. I'm waiting. We were waiting for John, but now we're kind of waiting for Tana to see if that works. Maybe I can ask. Well, first of all, do we have any believers in here besides Tana? Tiana? I love Tiana better. Seems like Tana knew of the psychic Tiana.
I don't know. Get any more work done on your critique of that sermon from your past favorite?
I'm doing a video critique of Ravi Zacharias, and I did it about 50% of it, and then I just threw it away. I didn't like it, and I redid it, and now I like it.
That's good. Usually, first draft is usually garbage of anything. Do anything creative. Usually, the first draft is garbage.
I'm not holding back. You know what? And I'm addressing Ravi directly in the video.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small chance he actually might watch it someday, and I hope that
he has he has a church that he's at all the time, or is he like
No,
traveling kind of thing?
he's a itinerant type preacher slash apologist where he just goes places where he gets paid, and but he has a lot of Christian fans in the United States, and who knows, he might see my video someday and say, "Who's this schmuck talking, asking me these questions?" And maybe, who knows, maybe he'll talk to me face to face someday.
Maybe.
I don't talk politics, Michael Fox, at least not much.
No, me neither. My vote is my business. So how did you find out about him, the Ravi? Yeah, I mean, how did he come into your life?
He wrote a book in the early 90s called Can Man Live Without God? And I'm not sure, I forget if I bought it or if my wife gave it to me as a gift. And I read it and I thought it was great. But here's the thing, and this is going to offend some people. He's a very smart guy. He's very well read. He gives a lot of quotations and references and stories when he speaks, when he writes. And it makes you feel smart just for reading him. You hear me? Like you read the book or you hear him talk and you feel smarter. And I think that's his competitive advantage when it comes to apologetics. I think when a Christian is honest with themselves in the quietness of the night, when they're on their pillow and they think about their beliefs, they realize they believe a lot of crazy stuff. They know it. They realize they have paradoxes in their life. They know it. And guys like Ravi, what Ravi gives them is a comfort that, hey, here's a smart guy and he believes like I do.
And that's how you felt when you read
Yes.
the book and that? You were like,
I would never have articulated it the way I just did, of course.
you were like, dang, I'm smarter than I used to be because I read this book.
But it's every apologetic argument, whether it's the presuppositional or evidential. Ravi would be more presuppositional. It all boils down to that the purpose of it is to make you stay within the religion.
Right.
Nobody enters, I shouldn't say nobody, very few enter a religion or a belief system because of apologetics. People become believers in any faith because, number one, they were born into it, and then they doubt, and then they research, they struggle, and they realize, oh, I'm either going to be serious about this or I'm not, and then they almost always end up with the belief of their parents. The second way is they hit rock bottom in their life, either financially or through addictions or whatever, and they're searching for some way out. Those are the two main, or they marry love. They find a spouse, and that's why they get into it, because they kind of marry into it. Those are the three main reasons. Ton, are you still trying to get in here?
I was going to say, how long do we...
Thanks, Michael. Michael's saying I'm boring, and come see my stream. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice shameless plug.
Does he have a show that you could go on and talk to him about stuff? I can't really read it because it's so tiny on my screen. I see boring. He's starting to stream soon. We should watch.
Yeah, I want to be an MP in the UK and voted least scare Muslim, but this guy sounds like he's 18 years old and plays video games all day in a dirty basement.
Yeah, I mean, the troll alert is, yeah, I mean, the alarm has sounded a long time ago.
How old are you, Michael Fox? Are you 18? Do you like video games?
About him. Hey, what's wrong with liking video games? I
Nothing.
love video games.
I'm just picturing Michael Fox on one of those beds in a really dark and dank and dirty basement, and with those beds that really squeak when you kind of move on them, like, and he's playing some PlayStation game. But he says he's 26 and he teaches. What do you teach, Michael? Video games. Oh, he does like games. Why are you... Oh, this should be good. Michael, why are you an atheist? This will be fun. I'm going to question this atheist. I'm going to lead him to Christ here tonight. Mom, not now. Good one, Jonathan. Michael, why are you an atheist? Don't help him, Chet. Let's see if he can answer this question on his own.
Wasn't considering helping. But thank you for thinking the best of me. Because it wasn't there.
I don't want you to feel sorry for Michael.
Sorry. Ooh, you went Canadian.
Oh, I did,
You went
didn't I?
Canadian pretty hard right there.
I'm going to go Canadian for the rest of the show. See if I can do it. I'm going to make all my O's will be O's. Because the universe, the primordial black holes equals 0. Couldn't there be a God, Michael, and all that what you just said would still be true? Why are you an atheist, Michael?
Why are you doing this, Doug? You know it's not going to be productive in any way. You know.
Well, let me ask you this, Michael Fox. What would it take for you to become a Christian? What would it take? What would Michael Fox have to see or experience or understand for you to become a Christian? Troll Trek. Hey, Jonathan Kiss, did we lose Tana? There is no need for a God, and I put, subtract. There's no need for God. Well, you could still believe in a God and not need him. Why are you an atheist, Michael Fox? Hey, Tiffany. How you doing? I'm asking an atheist why he's an atheist. There's a lot of theists, Michael Fox, who believe in a God and would say what you just said, that they have no need of that God. But they still believe in him. I've actually met people who say, yes, I believe there's a God out there. I believe in the God of the Bible, but I don't care. I want to go to hell. I don't care. I'm not going to do what he says just because he says it. There's people out there like that. So this is like the 4th time I've asked, Michael, why are you an atheist? Are there things that exist that no one has a need for? Yeah, good question. Let's see. Lamborghinis, they exist, and I don't think anybody has a need for a Lamborghini. I guess maybe if you're racing, isn't there a real... Because God was created in man's image. Ooh, I like that answer. We're getting closer. Matt Trophy is hinting towards something. Just come out and say it, Matt. Come out and say it. Why are you an atheist, Matt? I'm assuming you are.
Yeah, Matt's been around a lot. You don't recognize Matt's name?
No, you do? In the YouTube comments?
Pretty sure, yeah. Pretty sure Matt's been around quite a bit.
The reason why I'm an atheist, Michael Fox and Matt Trophy, is because the evidence does not match the claims. As simple as that. But I'm totally open to getting new evidence or new experiences that would raise my confidence. No, this is not a Christian challenge thing, Mike Hines. I was going to have a theist on, but his internet connection was no good. Then I was going to have a different theist on, and her computer froze up. God does not want Christians to talk to me. It's the only conclusion I can come up with.
Could be. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Have to consider it. If that were true, why would you think that would be?
Because I would instill doubt in them. And God wouldn't want that.
You think God is afraid of your questions?
No. If this God exists and I enter that worldview as an eternal critique, maybe God realizes that these particular theists are not ready for these types of questions, and the doubt might lead to rejecting the core propositions of the belief, and therefore they leave and spend an eternity in hell. Oh, Mike Hines, I can play the part. I can play the role. I've had. There's still many people from the Blab days who think that I'm not an atheist.
Looks like Michael gave you another answer. I can't read it very
I'm an
well.
atheist because I have no need for a God, and there's no evidence like Santa, who I don't believe either. Why don't you believe in Muhammad? For the same reason, I don't believe the evidence matches the claim. I like your second part of the sentence. God let Satan do his work. You are Satan.
Who said that?
Jim J.
Whoever Jim.
I'm not sure if he's being
Jim J.
sarcastic or not, but he did give.
Yeah, it's hard to tell anymore because you get called literally Satan,
Jim
in
J.
total seriousness regularly.
I should start journaling how many times I've been called an agent of the evil one.
Yeah, there's no /s there, so that would, to indicate sarcasm.
Okay, Tana is getting ready. So, Jonathan, I don't know if you're in contact with her, but she needs to type in appear.in / secret dash.
Oh, it was sarcasm. Thanks, Jim. It is hard to tell. If you do this regularly and talk to people about religion on the internet, you will be referred to seriously as Satan a lot. So it's hard to determine when that's not what they really mean. Here comes somebody. Come on, Tana. Is it going to happen?
I don't know.
It's just spinning.
Everything's going wrong in my life, chat. It's like
everything.
My house is not selling. Work's slow right now, and I can't even talk to Christians. It's like,
outside of YouTube comments, you certainly interact with them regularly in the YouTube comments, but you never even know if they're for real there. Oh man!
Try again, Tana.
Please. You might take it out. You might take it out. Somebody get in here.
Try again. Jonathan, tell her that. What could she be doing wrong? Chrome? She has to be on Chrome. Tell
Not
her.
if she's using the app.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought she
right.
downloaded the app, so if she's in the app, that won't matter.
Oh, here we go. Let's just try it. She's coming. Okay, if you're a Christian, start praying. You know, prayers might work.
Dang it, it's doing the same thing.
I'm not like she's on a smartphone, so.
Yeah.
What Mavortius? What interesting video do you have for me? Why is it not? Actually, can you step out for a bit, Chet, and see if that helps? Because maybe it's a broadband
Absolutely.
issue.
Absolutely. Excuse me. I'll leave right now and I'll go on to Facebook. You can message me if you need me back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So try one more time, Tana, without Chet in here. So we'll see if that works. Any other theists in here? Never going to give up. Never going to let you down. Okay. Oh, it's Reed.
It's working.
Yeah, it's working. So the problem is the Christian.
Oh, well.
Oh, okay. Why is God punishing me? I don't understand. What have I done to deserve this? This pain and suffering. I have a feeling this problem would happen no matter the platform, whether we did Google Hangouts or this. So I can't feel too bad. Reed hopped in here, no problem. Looks like Tana's trying again. Yeah, Jonathan, I see that. Yeah, if there was no original sin, she'd be here by now. Then what would we be talking about? God punishes science. Hey, Jim J, if it wasn't for God, you could not know anything. You couldn't justify your knowledge. You couldn't account for logic. Don't you know that? The presup argument. An atheist worldview leads to absurdity. You guys realize that, right? You know Stalin? He was an atheist. Do you want to be like Stalin? Pol Pot? He was an atheist. Do you want to be like Pol Pot? Don't be an atheist. You'll be evil like those guys. Sure, you might choose to be good once in a while, but that's only because God's instilling that goodness in you. And you know God exists. You're just suppressing the truth. But deep down, you know He exists, you atheists. So you need to stop suppressing. You need to repent. Fall on your knees and cry out. It's all you have to do. Oh, Mavortius, I already solved the precept problem. All you have to do is become a precept back. It's, in essence, the precept banter back and forth is an equivocation of terms. That's what it boils down to. And having and it is a philosophical approach, so. But if you're an atheist and you're ever with a presuppositional type person, all you have to do is imagine what they would say to a question, and you just answer back with your different precept. And my precept is that the universe exists and has the nature it has. So if there's a precept in the chat here, feel free to ask me any question you want, and I'll answer it. And if there's any Christians here who want to come on, you see the address right here? Right here? Hang on. How come you can't see it? Yeah. All you have to do is type that. Is there any precepts in the chat? I will be very kind and civil and nice. In fact, I would love to, if there's a precept in the chat, I would love to tinker, refine my ability to interact with you. And you can do the same. We can learn from each other. I've talked to probably, I don't know, 20 precepts in my life. I still remember the first time. First time is actually a little jarring, shocking, because you don't really know what they're doing at first. But now I actually enjoy it. Part of me really hopes that I talk with Cy Brugenkade or Matt Slick. Actually, Matt Slick, I find he's a douche. But Cy, I think, is actually deep down a nice guy if you can get him off his script. Okay, who do we have here? Hi. I recognize you. Where'd you go? Can you hear me? I thought you looked familiar to me from Blab days. Were you ever on Blab? Can you hear me? Maybe I don't know you. And it sounds like he can't hear me yet. So I'm going to give him some time. I think he needs headphones. Yes. Oh, that was a different person. Can you hear me? Are we 0 for 3? I know you tried, Tana. I think it'll work once you get hooked up into a laptop or a better internet connection. And I don't know what's going on here with this guy. I need some confirmation. Can you hear me? Guess not, so I'm going to boot him. Okay, the link is, if any Christian wants to come on, appear.in/secret-turn. No spaces. Type that in your browser, you'll come on. I prefer you show your face, makes for a better conversation. But if you don't want to, that's fine too. I'm an agnostic atheist. If you want to ask me nothing but questions, I can do that. If you want me to ask you questions, I can do that. But I would love to talk to you about why you believe what you believe. And you can ask me questions why I don't believe what I don't believe. I'm being told that there's someone who wants to come on. I reposted it, the link. And, oh, here comes someone. Let's see if we're going to be 0 for 4. Yeah, you're getting the right chat room, Tana. What is going on here? Why? Read worked, like no problem. Why is it that Christians cannot get on my live stream? Oh, is that you, Tana? Trying to get in right now? No, I cannot hear you. You're spinning. You're loading. Oh, someone's, what? What are you talking about, Violet? You don't see Tana. Tana, can you get to a laptop or a desktop? There's none in your house? You have no computer, real computer in your house that's hooked up to the internet? God hates me. What did I do to deserve this? I give to charity. I'm a great father. I love my wife. I'm faithful. I pick up garbage on the street. Why is God punishing me? This is the problem of evil right here. We're witnessing it. I'm gonna cry. I'm not sure who's trying. Is this still Tana trying? God is teaching me patience. I'm a very patient guy. It never used to be. When I was a Christian, I wasn't patient, but as soon as I became an atheist, my patience went up. Not sure why that is, but it's the truth. Ask my wife. Ask my cousin. Chet is asking you, Tana, have you rebooted your phone after downloading the app? You need to turn your phone off and turn it back on. I'll type it in there. Turn your phone off, then back on. And I'm getting a message from someone saying that his phone isn't working. I'm trying to get him to a computer. Whoa. Okay. So I'll stick around. I'm waiting to see if God's going to stop punishing me. So I'm an agnostic atheist, which means I do not say there is no God, but I don't believe there is one. I do not live my life like there's one. I am not scared of hell. I do not believe hell exists. I believe the whole concept of Pascal's wager is a horrible argument. Well, Doug, why don't you believe just in case you're wrong? Horrible, horrible argument. Why, you ask? Well, thanks for asking. Because what if the Muslim's correct? Then the Christian's going to hell and so am I. What if the Hindu's correct? And I come back as a beetle and you come back as a snake. Everybody is going to hell in someone's worldview. So we need to step back and ask ourselves the question, do we have good reasons to believe any of this? For the record, I think the Quran and Islam is more consistent than the Bible. Ooh. If that doesn't get Christians on, I don't know what will. And here's why I think that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I believe Islam, but Islam has one huge advantage over Christianity, and that is they don't have an Old Testament, New Testament covenant problem. Now, I know Christians don't see it as a problem. I understand that. But they don't have to deal with that. Number two, they do not have to, Islam does not have to deal with the paradox of the Trinity. Christians do. Well, not all Christians are Trinitarians, so most are, though. So an Islam is a more consistent worldview in that they believe in one unchanging God. Quran says sperm comes from the lower back. It's interior. Well, yeah, I agree. Who's typing, by the way? Who's typing in this room? What's your name? Is that the person? Is this? Yeah. What's your name? Oh, hi, David. Yes. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think what the Quran says is totally. Most of it's totally wrong. I think in the Bible, some things are true and some things are false, and in the Quran, same thing. But I think there are advantages to the worldview of Islam because of what I just said. They don't have to deal with three gods in one. They don't have to deal with Old Testament, New Testament covenants, and embrace relative morality like the Christians do. And now David really wants to connect. You got to get to a desktop, David. Trinity has two historical contexts. Sure. The Trinity is, anybody who thinks they know how to explain the Trinity doesn't understand the concept of the Trinity. How's that? Thanks for trying, Tana. Maybe we'll try, follow me on Twitter, @PineCreek, except it's a 1 instead of an I for the second letter. P1, PineCreek, all one word. The concept of the Trinity is supposed to be something like water. You have ice, you have steam, you have liquid water. It's like me. The Trinity is actually like me. I'm a father, I'm a son, and I'm a husband, but it's still me. It's different roles, different personalities, different personas, but still one thing. That's the concept of the Trinity. So, David, why are you a Christian? Actually, I'm going to do this, David. Just don't hang up. I'm going to try something else here. This might work, David. So don't hang up. Can you guys see this in the chat? I'm going to make it really big. Yeah, I think that should work. So, David, they can see what you're typing. So this is going to be like a live chat. So I asked you why you're a Christian, and you said because Jesus saved you. How old were you when he saved you? And how old are you now, may I ask? You don't have to answer the last question if you don't want, but... How old were you when... 22 is when you were saved? And how old are you now? 27. Okay. So can you, I know you're typing, but can you tell me very briefly what happened at 22 that got you saved? However you want to word it. Yeah, it usually is progressive. I was a believer for 30 years. I know exactly what you're saying. But what do you think was the impetus, the first, got the ball rolling? Were you born and raised in a Christian home? Did you have a problem in your late teens where you kind of struggled, got in trouble? Were you ever addicted to anything? Did you meet a woman who was a Christian? What did you have a friend who was a Christian? What got you serious? What started the progression? Because there's usually something that starts it, like, or a few things that I don't know why the chat's blinking. My brother had a lot to do with it. When he showed me Van Til's apologetic, I'd change a lot. Seriously, your brother? So your brother was a Christian for many years before you then? Sorry for the background noise if you can hear any of it. Officially became one before you. So your parents are not believers? Like, I'm very curious how both you have parents and the sons are believers, but I'm assuming the parents would be? Or are they just kind of like cultural Christians, or? Oh, your mom's Pentecostal. I went to a Pentecostal church for a few years. Your dad is more agnostic. Okay. I'm an agnostic atheist. Do you understand what that means? Have you ever heard of that before? Kind of, yeah. So I'm not one of those atheists who says there can't be a God, or I know there is no God. I don't say that. To me, that's a faith statement. If you say you're 100% certain that there is no God. But on the same hand, it's also a faith statement to say you're 100% certain that there is. I believe that. So you said that you became a Christian because of the Van Til apologetic. Is it possible to have a God in a chance universe? I don't know. That's why I'm an agnostic atheist. But what was it about the Van Til's apologetic that got you believing in not only God, but in, I'm assuming you're a Christian. So yeah, you said you were. You said Jesus saved you. How did you move from a God existing to Jesus rose from the dead? Well, I want to know your story. I want to know, how did you go from there has to be a God out there because of the transcendental argument to Jesus rose from the dead? For people who don't know, just hang on a second. I want to bring something up. Like Martin Luther, it started with my conflict of my own sin and if God is actually true. Well, So would you have considered yourself an atheist ever? I know now you don't believe atheists exist, and it's just suppression, but when you were, let's say, 18, did you call yourself an atheist? You did. Okay. So if you called yourself an atheist at one point in your life, why did you even think that you had sin in your life? Because sin, by definition, is missing the mark to a deity. Why did you even view, let's say, the things you did wrong as sin? How did you start even believing that you... How did you even start believing that you sinned rather than just doing bad stuff? Your brother basically told you that you were sinning? If your brother would not have become a Christian, are you saying that you might not have either? It seems like you're falling a little bit behind on my questions. What made you think that there even was a God to begin with? Because I asked you, what about the tag argument from Till? And you answered, you realized there was sin in your life. What made you think you were sinning? In order for there to be sin in your life, you had to first believe in a God. Guilt. So, but why did you equate guilt to a God existing? I guess someone's suggesting that you... no, I don't want to give out my number. You can have guilt and not believe in God. Yes, I agree. Why did you start believing in God? So imagine yourself, I don't know, 17, 18, 19 years old. You said that the reason why you started believing God is because of sin, but in order to even say that you sinned, you have to believe in God. So why did you start believing in God? Rhetorical questions? No, I'm asking you why you started believing in God. And you said because of sin, but to me that's circular. Why did you view the bad stuff as sin? Instead of just saying, it's a mistake. You know, when I was a Christian, I used to think, oh, all those people, their lives are so messed up and screwed up, they need Jesus. But then I realized as I got older that more and more people who even claimed Jesus made the same mistakes, and I just realized these are just people making poor decisions. And whether they have Jesus in their life didn't seem like it made a difference. But I digress. You were never a Christian, asking that in a biblical perspective. Yeah, I'll be sensitive and I'll say I was a professing Christian. How's that? For 30 years. I was born and raised in a Mennonite church, gave my life to Jesus at age 7, very early, on a toilet in a bathroom stall. It was very works-based in the early years. Then I went to a Pentecostal church, and to the credit of the Pentecostals, I learned that Christianity wasn't about works; it was more about a relationship. So I was in the Pentecostal church for 3 or 4 years. That's where I met my wife. And And then I went to probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 different denominations after that. Ended up in a Calvinist church, Presbyterian, not the bad Presbyterian branch, the good Presbyterian branch. And that was my last stop before I started doubting the core propositions, and was a deist for a few years. Just like you, I found the tag argument very powerful, and I thought, I thought that deism would be enough for that, first cause and so forth, objective morality as I saw it back then. But then I thought, I don't really have good reasons to even be a deist. So I don't live my life like there's a God. So that's why I call myself an atheist. I don't believe. So I just basically in 2 minutes, 3 minutes told you my life story. But I'm still wondering what happened, David, that you started believing in God? Why did you start believing in God? Guilt and sin is what I've gotten so far from you. So if it was guilt, why did you choose the Christian God instead of a different God? So I'm imagining you as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, you're feeling guilty about something you've done. And you're feeling guilty about something you've done, and you realize you have a problem, so you start believing in God. Why did you choose the Christian God and not a different God? I'm just having a conversation with you, David. I'm not debating, I'm not arguing. I want to understand what happened. Whenever I hear someone use the word fallacy, I think of arguments. I'm not arguing. I'm just asking, you told me you had guilt, and you started believing in God. Okay, I understand. So what got you believing in the Christian God? Was it just basically that was the God of the culture that you're around? My guess is you live in the United States. If you would have been feeling guilt and lived in Pakistan, is it fair to say you probably would be a Muslim today? I have no idea why it's blinking like that. It's probably because he's in constant load mode. So you started believing in God because you felt guilty about something. But my question is, why did you choose the Christian God? And if you would have been born and raised in Pakistan, do you think you would be a Muslim today? That's my question. You didn't choose, you were saved. Do you think you would have been saved if you were born and raised in Pakistan? And you felt guilt, and you started believing in God? You'd be a Muslim. Huh. I was not expecting you to answer that way. So are you saying that the reason why you're saved is because you were lucky enough to be born in the United States and not Pakistan? No evidence to prove I would be. I'm not sure about that. If you just look at correlations, Geography is the biggest correlator to world beliefs. God makes us be born at a certain time. So, David, what would change your mind about your belief in Jesus? What would say, you know what, I got it wrong? Can you think of anything at all that would change your mind? Yeah, I'm not talking about arguments. We're just having a conversation, David. Pretend we're in a lounge, a bar. You have your favorite beverage, I have mine. We're just shooting the breeze. What would change your mind, David, about the God you serve right now? What would make you say, you know what? I don't believe it anymore. You said there's no arguments that would do it, but is there anything else? Is there any evidence? Nothing. There's nothing that would change your mind. Okay. Okay, I'm going to propose something to you. Because, to be honest, you make me a little sad when you say that. And here's why. And you'll understand, I hope. If there was a Muslim, let's use something completely different. Hindu. If there was a Hindu in here with us right now, and I asked that, and you were listening in, and I asked this Hindu, what do you believe? Well, I believe in Vishnu, the god Vishnu. Is there anything that would change your mind about this god Vishnu? And this Hindu person says, no, nothing. Wouldn't you be sad with me? You wouldn't be sad that the Hindu would say nothing would change his or her mind? Wouldn't you want the Hindu to be a Christian? I would think that if you're a Christian, you'd want the Hindu to be a Christian too. Okay, but wouldn't you want them to stop suppressing God's truth? I'm saying that if the Hindu says there's nothing that would change their mind, and you're saying that wouldn't make you sad, and I'm asking you, well, wouldn't you be sad because you would want them to be a Christian, right? And you said, if they suppress God's truth, it's their choice. It give the gospel by love free will. This isn't Islam. Oh, did I say Islam? Sorry, I meant Hindu. Okay, but you're saying it's their free choice, but when you hear a Hindu say that nothing would change their mind, wouldn't you desire that there would be something that could change their mind? That they could exercise their free will on? Wouldn't you want them to be a little bit open to the idea that they could be wrong? You're assuming that their mind can't be changed. No, I'm assuming their mind can. My question to you, David, is, wouldn't you want the Hindu to doubt just a little bit so they would be open to the idea of your God? Wouldn't you want the Hindu to be a little bit open to the idea that they could be wrong? Sure, okay. That took a lot longer than I thought it would take. Now, why would you have that desire for the Hindu and not expect it of yourself? Why would you want the Hindu to doubt just a little bit be open to the idea that they might be wrong, why wouldn't you have that same standard on yourself, that you should desire for yourself to be open for being wrong? God decides who's saved, not me. But again, you could be, shouldn't you be open to the idea that what you just typed could be wrong? Just like you would want the Hindu to be open or doubt that they have the core propositions of whatever they believe, that could be wrong? Because Christianity doesn't commit the failures that Hinduism does, hence me saying that by Van Til's apologetic. You love apologetics, don't you? I'm getting through all that apologetics and I'm going to the meat here, David. Okay, so you're saying that sure, you would want the Hindu to doubt, to be open to the idea that they're wrong, but no, you would not do it yourself. Am I understanding you correctly? Christianity doesn't commit the failures Hinduism does, hence me saying, okay, so let me ask you this, David. If you did see a failure of Christianity, would that change your mind? Because you're saying that Christianity doesn't commit the failures that Hinduism does. What particular failure would you have to see in order for you to say, I could be wrong about this? I understand, but what failure that you maybe could be in Hinduism, that something similar to that if you saw in Christianity, you'd say, you know what? I think I'm wrong here. Can you think of any example of what you would have to see in order to change your mind? So you said that Christianity doesn't have the failures that Hinduism does. You said that you would want the Hindu to doubt they'll become a Christian someday. I asked you, wouldn't you want that same standard on yourself, that you should be open and doubt maybe just a little tiny bit to the idea that you might be wrong? You said no. I asked you why. You said because Christianity doesn't have the failures that Hinduism does. Now I'm asking you, what particular failure, hypothetically, could you see in order to say, you know what, I'm wrong? This and this should happen, but if I'm wrong, this and this should happen. So what are those markers in your life, David, that would say, you know what, I need to rethink this Christianity thing? There are no failures, bring one up and I won't believe it. I won't believe. Bring one. Well, that's what I'm asking you. What type of failure would you have to see? Can you give me an example, David, that if you saw, you would say, oh, I'm wrong? Hang on a second, David. I think I have to restream this. Just hang on a sec. Tube stream froze up. So let's see if it works now. Let me refresh. There we go. I think we're back. I can't stand a failure because there isn't one. Bring one. You got compelled to not be a theist. Show me. Okay, fair enough. So let's say someday you became convinced that like it says in the Bible, in the Gospels, that there was 500 witnesses to the resurrection, at least. There's more, right? What if you became convinced that there was 0 eyewitnesses? I'm not going to give you an example of how, but let's say someday you were convinced that, you know what, I don't think there was any eyewitnesses. Would that specific example be enough for you to rethink all of Christianity? Now, I'm not asking you, would that make you doubt whether there's a God, but that maybe all religions are wrong, including Christianity. Oh, man. I'm having problems. I've refreshed 5 times, keep starting at the same place and freezing up in the same place. That sucks. What can we do? Hang on a second. Keep starting at the same place and freezing up. Oh, it's working again. Okay. That sucks. I think we're good. It would make a difference. Jesus' bones were never found through history, wouldn't it? Well, Jesus' bones were never found, so you're saying that what would change your mind is if Jesus' bones were found? Then you would stop believing? Okay, that's great. We're making progress, David. Now the problem is, how would you know they were Jesus's and not someone else? Because you could easily say, oh, that's not Jesus's bones, right? We didn't have his DNA footprint. So, but that's good. That's a marker. That's something I'm looking for. If Jesus's bones were found, and we had no doubt that they were Jesus's bones, you would stop believing. Right. Okay. Very good. So if, let's say, you saw a holy text that was very similar to the Gospels, but it was written before the Gospels, would that cause you to doubt? So, for example, let's say there is a book that was written centuries before the Gospels, and it talks about feeding 5,000 men, and then another story talks about feeding 6,000 men and women. And then there's a book that talks about a king that was hidden and had his feet washed, and the container that the liquid was in broke. Let's say multiple stories that were in the Gospels, that are in the Gospels, were in books written prior to the Gospels. Would that cause you to doubt a little bit? So listen carefully to my question. Would that cause you to doubt if there was books written before the Gospels with very, very similar stories in it? Would that cause you to doubt at least a little bit? What I'm doing here is I'm looking for another marker. You've given me one marker, and that is if Jesus' bones were found, you would stop believing. But I'm just throwing out some other possible markers. David, I'm asking you a question, and all you have to do is say whether that would make you doubt or not. So this is called a hypothetical, right? It's an if. It's a thought experiment, which can be very useful for examining our own world beliefs. So I gave you a scenario where, let's say there was multiple stories that are currently found in the Gospels. If you saw stories that were very, very similar to the ones in the Gospels, but written hundreds of years before, would that cause you to doubt just a little bit? Since a hypothesis isn't lower than a... I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. But can you answer my question? If you saw stories, narratives, that is very similar to the Gospels, but were written hundreds of years prior, would that cause you to doubt at all? Like, for example, the feeding of the 5,000, Jesus having his feet washed and the container breaking. I'll try one more time, David. If you were to read stories that were written hundreds of years prior to the Gospels, that were very similar, would that cause you to doubt a little bit? I can't. They never existed. If these stories existed, and they were very similar to the Gospels, would that cause you to doubt a little bit? Michael Fox, you're free to leave. If I doubted, what would I then believe? I love that answer because I can tell that's an honest one. I really appreciate that. And by the way, if you read the Homer's Odyssey, there are several passages. The Odyssey by Homer was the most popular fictional novel in Greek of the day. Anybody who was literate in Greek would have read Homer's works. Homer talks about a king who leaves his empire and comes back after a while, and nobody recognizes him. But here's the king, and he's walking around in his own kingdom, and people don't recognize him as king. That's called irony. Irony is found in the Gospels. Then there's stories about, the one where the spirit goes into the herd of pigs and the pigs go down the cliff. There's a story very similar to that in Odyssey as well, except it's cattle. I think it's cattle. Is it cattle or goats? Forget. But that never happened. Jesus existed. It's not like that. Okay. But here's the question. If you saw stories that were in a fictional novel, and it's now been put in a different book, wouldn't you question whether that happened in history? I'm not presupposing the Bible is fictional. Here we have a book called the Bible. Here we have books within the Bible. And we have a choice to make. Did it happen or not? So, for example, when you read that 500 people saw Jesus resurrected, do you just assume that that's true? Do you presuppose that's true? If the Bible says 500 people saw the resurrected Jesus, pretend you're 17 or 18 years old, however old you were when you started believing in God. Do you read that and just automatically say, oh yeah, that happened? Or do you say, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't? That's a fair question, right? Like if we're not presupposing it's historical, and if we're not presupposing it's fictional, then we have a question on our hands. Is it historical or is it fictional? Or is it a combination of both? That's a possibility, right? So when you were 17, 18 years old and you read stuff like 500 witnesses saw Jesus resurrected, did you just assume that that was historical? Did you presuppose that? Or did you actually think through it and say, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't? So if we don't presuppose one way or the other, then we have to look at the evidence for what it is, right? So let me ask you this, David. If you came into my kitchen right now and you saw, I have a stove over there, and you saw a pot of water on the stove, and you see it's glowing red, and there's a thermometer in the pot. You go over and you look at the thermometer, and it reads 600 degrees centigrade. But yet the water's not boiling. Let me ask you this. Would you assume that the laws of physics and chemistry have changed the boiling point of water, or would you say that the thermometer is probably broken? Right, I would agree with you. The thermometer is probably defective. Now let's say we put in 2, 3, 4 thermometers in there, and they all say 600 degrees, but yet the water's not boiling. I would probably say something, well, you know what, odds are all these thermometers are defective, and because they came from the same batch from the factory or something like that. That's probably how my brain would think. Fair enough? So now let me ask you this. What is more likely? That 500 people saw a man rise from the dead, saw evidence of that, or our book just says that happened? What's more likely? What's more likely? That 500 people actually witnessed someone rising from the dead, or a book just says that's what happened, and it never did? You're not answering my question, David. Focus, focus. What is more likely? That 500 people saw a man rise from the dead, or a book just says that's what happened? Because you very quickly answered the water on the stove question. You said, oh, it's more likely the thermometer is broken and that the laws of nature have not been changed. Why do you not say the same in this case? Why do you assume, or maybe you're not assuming, but why would this take longer to answer? Wouldn't you assume that the thermometer is broken in the case of the Gospels, and that maybe this didn't happen? Isn't that a possibility, that even though it said it, it really didn't happen? Now you say things like, well, his bones were never found, but if this is a case where maybe some of it's true, some of it's not, then everything that you're typing is irrelevant, right? You love the word fallacy, don't you? We're just two guys here, David, having a conversation, except you have to type and I get to talk. How come you didn't say it was a fallacy of induction when I was talking about the water and the thermometer? Why did the fallacies come up when I apply it to the Gospels? So I want to encourage you that I value truth, and I think you do too. So if we both value truth, I think it's incumbent upon us to consider the possibility that we're wrong. I admit to you, David, I could be wrong and you could be right. I don't think I'm wrong, but I could be wrong. Your Jesus could be real. I could be going to hell. I admit that. I could be wrong. But when I hear you say that there's no chance that you could be wrong, and if you are, what if we're both wrong? We both could be in trouble here. If you're not doubting just a little bit, how can you get to even close to what's true? Does that make sense? Yeah, I hope you understand. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here. My wife is a born again Christian, David. I'm being honest with you. My life would be easier if I could believe, but I just don't. So, but I do value truth. I do want to believe true things as much as possible. So I'm glad that we can at least end on agreeing on something. So I'm going to wrap this up. So follow me on Twitter so we can do this the right way, like face to face instead of typing. And because I know that must be a real pain for you to have to type. Oh, you don't have a computer? Oh. Huh. Well, maybe you can borrow one or go to someone's place that does have a computer. So, at PineCreek do you have Twitter? Lake Elsinore? I don't know where that is. Is that in California? I was a Christian for 30 years. I was a professing Christian for 30 years, Jay's Judah. Riverside, California. Okay. I'm actually out there once in a while. But online is, easier than me driving to California. So I'm going to close this off now. It was really nice talking to you, David. And next time, I'll let you ask me questions. How's that? That's fair, right? Because I kind of was asking all the questions. But next time, you can ask all the questions you want of me. And it will be face-to-face, hopefully. So have a good night. You have to press the X to get out of here or just close off the app. And otherwise, you're going to be spinning forever in this thing, and it's going to wear out your battery. So click off. I'm going to stay on and make sure you get off. Yeah. May God be with me. May science be with you, buddy. Science bless. So try to close out. Otherwise, your battery is going to get drained as soon as you unplug the charger. Phrasing, Doug. You might have to turn off your phone. I don't know. Okay, we'll see you, David. You need to leave now, David. There you go. Okay. I got, let's see. Where is it? He said, good point to me. Right there. That's why I ended the conversation. Always ended on a high note. I forget why he said good point. I think it was because of the water and the pot and the 600 degrees. I asked him why he brought up fallacies. He didn't bring up fallacies with the water and pot example, but he did with the Gospels. So if you come at the Bible as a seeker of truth, my feeling is that you do not assume it's true. You don't assume it's false either. You look at it for what it is. So if it's more likely that the thermometer is broken than the water, the boiling point of water's changed, why isn't it more likely that the text just makes a claim, but it actually never happened versus a real resurrection? Now, I know that question really bothers Christians because that question totally flips the apple cart over and leads to a domino effect that they don't want to start. But it is what it is. Okay, guys, have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. Take care. I'll probably do this again soon if I can get Theist to come on.